Where must we do? Is Bismillah, read.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الحق تبع
Can we done that one?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الكلمة الحكمة ضالة الحكيم وحيث وجدها فهو أحق بها. رواه الترمذي وابن ماجه. قال الترمذي هذا حديث غريب. إبراهيم بن الفضل الراوي يضاعف في الكريم.
Okay, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وعن أبي هريرة قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الكلمة الحكمة ضالة الحكيم فحيث وجدها فهو أحق بها. رواه الترمذي وابن ماجة. وقال الترمذي هذا حديث غريب. وإبراهيم بن الفضل الراوي يضعف في الحديث. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, narrated on the authority of Abu Huraira. He said that Rasulullah Sallallahu said, Al-Kalimatul Hikmatu, the wise word, the word of wisdom, Dhalatul Hakimi, it is the lost property of a wise person. Haythu wajadaha, wherever he finds it, he takes it, because he is more worthy for it. Imam Tirmidhi narrates this, Imam Majah narrates this, and Imam Tirmidhi says that هذا حديث غريب, that's a gharib hadith. This is a technical terminology that we done in the beginning of the year. وإبراهيم بن الفضل الراوي, and Ibrahim al-Fadl, يضعف, he is considered to be weak. But remember, we've done this in weak hadith. If the weakest hadith, but in Fazail, is accepted. Weak hadith in Fazail are accepted. Like I told you before, on the base level, what does that, before looking into the details of the hadith, what is the hadith saying? Ismail, you give it a shot. Tell me, what does the hadith saying? Just without going into the depths of the explanation or out deep diving, what he's saying. What's the hadith saying? You tell me what's the hadith saying. Just on the base level, what it's saying. Right? What else is saying? Look here, if you lost some of your property, this is your phone, right? This is your phone. So wherever you see it, aren't you the most worthy person to take it? Why? Because it's yours. It's yours. So if you see your phone and somebody else is going to grab it, and you grab, say, no, ma, this is my phone, it belongs to me, I will take it. So you have the most haq of it. You have. So in this hadith, Nabi is also explaining like how the owner of an item, he has the most right to it. He has the most right to it. Like that, a person of intelligence, a person of aql, there is the most right to a word of wisdom. So like how when you see your item, you see your phone, you see your pen, you see there, you go and you take it. Why? Because it belongs to you. Same, it's your property. So same thing, if you are a person, if you are dhu aqal, you are a scholar of deen, you are mufti, you are muhaddith, you are student of deen, like how the owner is harish, is desirous to get his own property, same thing, you're supposed to be desirous as a scholar whenever you see a word of wisdom, wherever there's an opportunity to learn something, there's a visiting scholar, there's a visiting muhaddith, there's a visiting mufti, there's a visiting faqih, there's a visiting usuli, like how a owner of a property will rush to get his property. This is my phone. You can't take it. It's my phone. It belongs to me. What do you want to do with it? You will fight for your right. You will fight for your haqq. Same thing. You as a scholar, wherever you see some type of word of wisdom, some type of knowledge that you can benefit from, you will rush to it. You will rush to it. So that is on a base level. You understand what I'm saying? We just discussed this before. Remember, we said, I told you the different types of knowledge. What knowledge is what wajib, faraz, and one. If something concerns you, it is necessary for you to get that knowledge. Remember, we discussed in detail. You as an individual, it is faraz for you to read salah. So you have to learn that if Hajj becomes faraz upon you, you have to have that knowledge. If zakat becomes faraz upon you, you have to get that knowledge. If you want to go for Umrah, you have to get that knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? So every person, according to what he is in. If you are a businessman, you need to learn the laws of tijarat. You need to learn the laws of zakat, etc. If you, etc. Remember we discussed that. Indeed, you become a Muslim, then you need to learn the basics of salah, etc. Right? So whatever you condition you as a Muslim are in, whatever condition you as a Muslim are in, you need to acquire that knowledge, right? And so here, how does this discussion tie in? Because say, look here, a word of wisdom, you must go for it. So if it is something which it pertains your farais, it is faras for you to go for it. If it's something pertains your wajibat, it's wajib to go for it. If it pertains something which is sunnat, and sunnat for you to go for it. And sunnat. Remember we told you this, so that is all those, so you understood what is the faras knowledges. I mean, to read Quran, everyone must at least know. It's faras for you to read Quran in Salah. فَقْرَأُوا مَا تَيَسَّرَ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ. So that amount of knowledge of the Quran is for us for you to learn it. You understood what I'm saying? Then we also said, now like how you are doing, you say Imam Abu Hanifa says so, Imam Shafi says so, Imam Yusuf says so. This is proof. This is Imam Abu Hanifa's proof, like how you do. But in Hidayah, I told you when you start Mishkaat, when you start Abdul Fiqh, you do. This is a proof. That knowledge now, it is not farz ayn, it is farz kifaya. Every single person don't have to get it, you understand? So like I told you, now if a community, they fail to get a Jaid Alim to help them, then the whole community is sinful, right? So we say Al-Kalimatul Hikmatu. Hafiz Tawrapishti, one of the famous muhaddithin, he say Al-Kalimatul Hikmatu. This refers to faqahat fi din. What? Having a good understanding. فَحَيْثُ وَجَدَهَا, wherever you get it. Like we're saying, you are the owner of this phone. No matter where you find it, you take it. Like normally you say, maybe you an alim, for example, right? So somebody's a non-alim want to teach you something, but you don't know it. You must take it from him, because I told you that your phone, if somebody get it, you say, oh no, you know lesser than me. I'm not going to take my phone from me. Take my phone and give it to that person know from more than me, and he must give me the phone. You won't do that. Because it's my phone, I must take it. Same thing. The knowledge You will take it from whoever you find it because it is yours. You're a person. So even if you find it, so even if, for example, you see as an alim, you are an intelligent person, a person that is lower than you, maybe you in the fourth year, you in the third year, a person that is in the first year, or that's just an example, or maybe even like anybody who studied, anybody who done spent some time studying whatever, and then they see somebody else, and according to their understanding, maybe this person is not as bright as me, or this person is not as learned as me, but he has a bit of knowledge by him. You must take it. You mustn't hesitate to take it, to benefit from it, because this is your property. Like how you fight for your phone, you will take this. So maybe it was by the unworthy person. Now it came to a worthy person. So what we're saying is for you to practice upon that. It mustn't come from a person that is higher than you. Sometimes maybe it's just example, a simple example to understand. Sometimes maybe you have somebody working for you, like how you have a maid in your house or something. She teach you something, they call it now. You can teach you a hack or something, or even she teach you something that she learned. I went to madrasa today. I learned this here. Our teacher taught us this, and it makes sense to you. You can take it. It doesn't say, oh no, I'm an alim of deen, I'm a appa, I'm a mu'allima. She's only a new Muslim. How can? That's why in Arabic it said, انظر إلى ما قيل ولا تنظر إلى من قال. انظروا إلى ما قيل ولا تنظروا إلى من قال. Yes, you, mashallah, alhamdulillah, you know you have the capacity of knowing what is right and wrong because you're studying. So you can say, no, this is right. This is according to the Quran. This is according to the Hadith. You can take it and you can accept it. فانظروا إلى ما قيل ولا تنظروا إلى من قال. So what he's saying in the hadith, he's saying this, that knowledge coming from a person that is outwardly, seemingly lower in knowledge or lower in stature than you should never be an impediment for you to accept it. Never ever. And I said outwardly because only Allah Ta'ala knows who is really most accepted in His sight. We don't know. A person that, you know what I'm saying, maybe outwardly seem like a simple person in the sight of Allah Ta'ala, that person can be accepted. So outwardly, even if a person seem like lower in this, you can still accept it. So here he's saying, even here he's saying, just example, even if you see a word of wisdom written on a wall, you see it on a social media post, whatever, you can accept it. So you say, only if I hear this from a person, a scholar that is greater than me, a person that is more pious than me, then I'll accept it. Other than that, I will not accept it. Okay, you can read the next hadith, inshallah. Okay, let's look at the next. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وعن ابن عباس قال رسول فقيح واحد أشد على الشيطان من ألف عابد رواه الترمذي وابن ماجه. Narrating the authority of Ibn Abbas, he said, the Rasul said, Faqihun wahidun, one person who is well grounded in the religion of Islam is more severe on shaitan than 1,000 worshippers. Rawat Tirmidhi wa Ibn Majah, Imam Tirmidhi Ibn Majah narrates this. What do you understand? I want to get you people to start thinking now. You mustn't only wait for the explanation to start. What does this mean? Tell me what does it mean, Ismail. Tell me what it means from your understanding. Say again. What do you understand?
He is a person who is knowledgeable. It's not easy for Shaitan to fool him.
Right. You understood that. That's what I understood. So what he's saying is, look, shaitan is there to, remember we done this, alhamdulillah, we done this in tafsir. The shaitan's primary objective is to misguide man because he got long-standing enmity with man. He's got long-standing enmity and adawat with man. Remember he said that our father Adam alayhi salam was the cause of his expulsion from Jannah, right? right? Are you with me? So now he said, now since your father was the cause of me coming out from Jannah, like, some people, your father, he done this to me, there, that place. Now you want to fight with you also because of what your father, that's the habit of shaitan, you see. That is the habit of shaitan. I want to fight with you because of what your father done to me. That is the habit of shaitan. So he wants to fight with, he wants to take Insan down because Insan's father, right? So now to combat him, so remember, I told you Shaitan will come in different guises, in different forms. He'll try to deceive you. Sometimes he'll paint something to see it, but Islamic picture. You say this is a good thing, this is a good idea. You can benefit people. Like simple example. If you rob this money here, you get so much money, and then afterwards you can just make tawbah, and you can give so much charity, etc. Simple example I'm giving. Sounds like a simple example. So you steal, play the lotto. You win money, you get so many million. How many poor people you can help, You can just make tawbah to Allah Ta'ala afterwards for committing a sin. Simple example, I'm saying you play like a modern Hood or Robin Hood type of thing. So yeah, a person who's a worshipper, he's well grounded in worship, etc., etc. He cannot unravel and see through the tricks of shaitan, like how a person is knowledgeable in deen say, no, ma, this is haram, this is finished, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like when we were small, we always learned the story. Maybe it's not a true story, maybe, but it's just like a parable. There was a person who was a great abid, he was a great worshipper. He used to engage in abundance of worship. So one day he was going to worship and he came across a very beautiful flower. So he stopped to smell the flower and he was enjoying the flower. So he got immersed in the smelling of the flower. And as a result of that, he got late for his prayer. So he thought to himself, oh, this nose here, it was the cause of me being late for prayer. I need to punish this nose. I need to punish this nose. So he took najasat and he put it in his nose. He said, now nose, you will be punished. And he was praying like that for several days. He was a abid, but he was not a alim. He was a abid, but he was not a alim. So if he's a alim, but this is najasat, you cannot read namaz. Ya ayyuhal muddathir kum fa'anzir, ya ayyuhal muddathir kum fa'anzir wa rabbaka fakabir wa thiyabaka fatahhir wajrujza fahjur. Keep your body clean. If he was a alim, if he knew Quran, he would know exactly. So that's why always you see, like, when you go in Jamaat, etc., they always try to put one alim with the Jamaat so they can guide the people when you're going. So that's what we're saying. That if you as a abid, you won't recognize and see the tricks of shaitan. You won't see the tricks of shaitan. But you got one alim say, no, this is wrong, this is haram. We don't accept this. So remember, we discussed alim billah, alim bi amrillah, alim billah wa alim billah wa alim bi amrillah. So here, when we speak about a faqih, we speak a person who knows the deen. And obviously, when you speak about abid here, you can't be an abid unless you know the basics. How are you going to read salah? So you speak about a person who knows the basic and he's doing the fara'is. A person who's deeply grounded in deen, he is more effective in foiling the plans of shaitan. Remember what shaitan's grand plan, we discussed in detail what his grand plan is to misguide people. So a person who's grounded in deen, he can foil the plan. He's more effective. He's more effective in foiling the plans of shaitan. That's why the poet says, Fasadun kabirun, alimun mutahakkikun, wa akbaru minhu jahilun mutanassikun. So alimun kabirun, fasadun kabirun, alimun mutahakkimun. So there's another interesting story here, just to explain this. And you must have heard about Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jailani. He was a very, very great worshipper of Allah Ta'ala, right? He's engaged in abundant worship and he's accepted amongst all ulama as one of the greatest awliya, or maybe one of the greatest, not in the old. One evening later, or early morning, he was reading, he's making sajud namaz, and then he saw a light. And this was shaitan. So shaitan came to him and said, Abdul Qadir, you have engaged in so much ibadat, that now you've already reached Allah Ta'ala. So Allah Ta'ala has made maaf upon you salah. You don't have to read salah anymore. So because he was an alim, he said, no, man, this is shaitan. Because how can salah become maaf upon anybody? You, Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, uh, وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. Yaqeen means death. You have to worship Allah Ta'ala until death. So you was alim. Even Nabi, who was greater than Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? Anybody greater? Did namaz, did salah ever become forgiven from Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? Never. Was never maaf. So you say, so you know that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the greatest of Allah's creation, it was never made maaf from him. How can salah be made? So he said, no, you are shaitan. A'udhu billahi minash shaitan. Because he had knowledge. So if a person had knowledge, oh, mashallah, I'm making so much. See, my dua was accepted now. I don't have to make it. Like I told you, you get those bogus sheikhs in India. When they don't read salah, I say, wait, you know, I go to Medina to read my salah. I go to Makkah and I come back, right? So he knew it. He said, because he was a scholar, he said, no, 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 no. That's the shaitan, right? Then shaitan said, oh, you see, Abdul Qadir, today your knowledge saved you. Today, see how cunning shaitan is. He said, today your knowledge saved you. He said, no, my knowledge never saved me. Allah Ta'ala saved me. So that is a simple example, a parable to show you the difference between an abid and an alim, right? So, okay, read the next hadith.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عن انس رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم طلب العلم فريضة على كل مسلم وواضع العلم عند غير اهله ومقلد الخنازير والجوهرات والذهب وروى البيهقي في شعب الايمان الى قوله مسلم وقال هذا حديث متنه مشهور واسناده ضعيف وقد روي عن اوجه كلها ضعيف.
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وعن أنس قال قال رسول طلب العلم فريضة على كل مسلم وواضع العلم عند غير أهله كمقلد الخنازير الجوهرة واللؤلؤة والذهب. رواه ابن ماجه وروى البيهقي في شعب الإيمان إلى قول مسلم وقال هذا حديث متن مشهور وإسناد ضعيف وقد روي من أوجه كلها ضعيفة. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim narrators and authority of Anas radiallahu ta'ala said the Rasul said the talabul ilmi faridatun ala kulli muslimin, the seeking of knowledge is necessary upon every Muslim. Wa wadi'ul ilmi in the ghayr ahli, and placing knowledge by an unworthy person is like garlanding a pig, right? With pearls, sorry, jawhara, precious stones, pearls, and gold. Ibn Majah narrates this hadith, Imam Bayhaqi narrates this in Shu'ab al-Iman to the statement of Muslim. Tell this that he got just there, tell Muslim, right? That's what it ala kulli Muslimin, right? And he said this hadith, matanu mashhurun. Its text is very, very famous. Wa isnaduhu, but its chain of narrators is weak, and it has been narrated in many ways, and all of them are weak. Again, I'm going to ask you again now, why do you understand from the hadith? I mean, I told you, you, you need to start being able to understand what the hadith on a basic level means before delving into the deep meaning. What does it mean? Come,
Islamic basic knowledge is composed of one.
right?
When you want to teach, you must teach someone who's good.
What you say, Ismail, what it means? Okay, the first part is pretty simple. Talabul ilmi faridatun ala kulli muslimin. That I explained to you in detail that whatever knowledge you as a believer, whatever field you are in, you need to get that knowledge. You have to learn it. You're a trader, you're a trader. Simple. وواضع العلم عند غير أهله كالمقلد الخنازير. The placing of knowledge by people are not worthy of it. It's like garlanding a pig. Now, what he's saying here, look here, there's an Uru saying also, this goes like this here, Gadhe ke samne zafran dalna. You know, saffron. You know, saffron is very, very expensive. Saffron is even more expensive than gold and silver. Few strings of it cost a lot of money. You take that saffron, you put it in front of a donkey. You think it's normal grass and he will eat it up. You won't appreciate this is expensive because he does not know the value of that, right? The same thing, if you take, if you take, for example, a lady and they put diamonds on her and you put gold, she'll appreciate it because she know what they know what it is. When if you look at diamond, it doesn't have intrinsic value. It's not a fresh intrinsic value like gold, silver. So when they want to market diamonds, they coined this phrase, diamonds the girl's best friend. And that's how they made people get interested in the diamonds. So it doesn't have an intrinsic value, right? So now you put diamonds on a lady, on a girl, whatever, she'll appreciate it because she knows the value of it. She knows this is a precious stone, right? But now you take the same diamonds and that gold and you put on a pig. Will a pig appreciate it? You will never ever appreciate it. You will never ever appreciate because he doesn't know what it is. You put a flower in front of him, expensive bouquet of roses. You taste it. You see the flowers bitter. You won't even eat it. You understand what I'm saying? So if you do not know the value of something, you will not appreciate it. If you do not know the value of something, you will not appreciate it. So what we're saying is certain masail of deen, the ordinary folk, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. So you don't have to explain to them that. Now you go, for example, we doing like you, mashallah, we doing some intricate masail of aqidah, we're saying Allah Ta'ala, like maybe Tashbih, Tajseem, or you're doing like, about the difference between the Sha'ir, Qadar, and all that type of thing. Now you go into the Mimbar and Masjid time, you want to explain all this type of thing. Allah Ta'ala is not contained by space, and Allah Ta'ala is not contained by time, and this, that, and the other, and all that type of thing. Will they appreciate it? They won't appreciate it. In fact, you will make them more confused. So you're saying, so when in English, when in Arabic, when you put something in front of somebody that it does not appreciate it, then it's expressed in the words as though you are garlanding a pig because a pig does not appreciate that. You understand what I'm saying? And then so I was telling you, so more or less, like most of the time, our ulama try to keep all these intricate things away from the webmasters. But now sometimes there's a need. I'll give you a simple example to understand this. Look, we won't go openly and discuss the difference between Hazrat Ali and Hazrat Aisha. She had, right? They fought. For an ordinary person to believe, imagine the son of Nabi Sallam and the wife of Nabi Sallam, they had a battle, they fought. They actually physically fought on the battle. It's difficult to comprehend. So you keep that knowledge away from the public. Or like even maybe this Masala or Allah Ta'ala and the Arash and all that type of thing. You keep that away from the general masses. It's difficult for them to understand. Like also like the difference between Hazrat Ali and Muawiyah. But now sometimes what happens is we know we got now all these batil sects coming. We got all these batil sects coming. So if they don't hear it from you, they're only going to hear it from them. Then you say, no, but we don't discuss this thing. The Awamun Nas, they can't understand this. They can't understand. No, now you need to explain it in a simple way that they can understand. So if the Shias come now, this is how they operate. So they'll come in and start speaking about they try to make us Aisha Titika radiallahu bad. She came out of the house and she had a fight and went to battle with the son of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they tried to make the Azwaj Mutahharat bad. They contradicted the Quran and all that type of thing. Now you can't say no. Oh, no, if we explain to this, we'll be putting flowers on a pig. And you say no. They say, then you say no. Well, so if somebody come to you, for example, say, I never know this here. That as Aisha and as Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhuma, they had a battle. Say, no, don't worry about this. So now you will have to explain it in a simple way that they can understand. Explain it. Look, they all our, as Aisha Siddiqa is our mother. She's our spiritual mother. The Quran says, that the wives of Nabi is your mother. Well, even if your mother make a mistake, do you speak bad about her? What do you do? Do you lose respect for your mother? And the Quran is saying, as Aisha Siddiqa is our mother. So we explain this in such a manner, then you explain examples. So I'm saying, So generally, a certain type of things, you won't interfere with them, you won't speak about them, you won't explain the public about them. But sometimes there is a need when people are right coming to. So this is on a secondary level. But as I said, on a basic level, you won't discuss things that are not necessary. Now for the guys from that class here, the English class, that guy Amir Yakin, how to call him and explaining about Allah Ta'ala Munazzahun and the Makan and the Jihad and Sitta, all the type of thing. You won't understand it. You understand what I'm saying? You'll just tell him that Allah Ta'ala is, nothing is hidden from him. He sees everything, he hears everything, and then finish it. But the alim shouldn't now you'll explain all the details, etc. Right? So one explanation here is I told you that when you're explaining things to people who don't have the mental capacity to understand it, maybe just generally, maybe they're weak-minded, or maybe they haven't reached that level as yet. Like I'm telling you, imagine you take another example of this here is you take a guy from first year, you want to teach him Hidayah Shareef, what will happen? He'll start spinning like a top, right? Another explanation is also you won't you won't explain the things of the people, deep things of Sharia to the people of the dunya. People, so they don't understand. They don't understand, and they won't use it correctly. So I told you also. So what relevance is to explain something like to the people of the dunya? And another explanation I told you also. Normally in fiqh terminology, people who engage in bidat, etc., we call them ahlul hawa. So explain deep things to the people of bidat and ahlul hawa. So this is likened to like how the a khinzir won't appreciate this, right? And obviously here we're speaking about ilmuddin because this is yes, that when all these ahadith they speak about the virtue of knowledge, it speaks of ilmuddin for all those virtues, but that doesn't mean that the shariat is against other type of knowledge. Yes, other type of knowledge is also good, but that is hasanun li ghayrihi, not hasanun li zati. It is good because it will help you to earn a living. It will help you to improve the condition of the Muslims, etc., etc. So that is like sabab min al asbab. It's a means from the means of the dunya, like how you earn. But it's not the hadith that speak about the virtue of knowledge that primarily refers to the knowledge of Deen Islam. So this is also another melody here. The Shari he goes into a deep discussion, but I won't go into it. Whilst we say, like I told you, we're not against beneficial knowledge of the dunya. We say it's good. It's necessary at times. Nabi Sallallahu even in fact instructed one Sahabi to learn Hebrew to correspond with the Jews, etc., etc. So we're not averse to that. We're not against that, etc., etc. But as I said, to the extent where it can promote the interest of the Muslimin, the Muslim community, one's family, that is good. But primarily all the hadith that speaks about the virtue of knowledge that refer to Islamic knowledge, right? Anyway, yeah, the author goes into a deep discussion. I won't go into it. He says if you look at normally our secular curriculum, it is designed to promote godlessness. It's designed to promote secularism. It takes your focus away from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, attributes everything to nature and that type of thing. So we have to be careful about that. We as Muslims, we must become independent and we must develop our own curriculum, our own systems, etc. So he goes into detail there, but like they say, speaking, he's obviously living in Pakistan, so he's speaking there, even there, the syllabus, the curriculum, etc., etc., come from the Western countries. So it promotes godlessness, Darwinism, evolution, and if you look at even it attributes everything to Big Bang theory. But okay, that's a separate subject. We won't go too much into that. So we're saying So here also he said, كمقلد الخنازير, like are you garland a khinzir? Also here it says, like, a disrespectful student. It's also like to teach a disrespectful student, an unworthy student. So similarly, to teach a disrespectful, stubborn, arrogant person. Because if you look at deen, deen is respect. Deen is ihtiram. That's why ulama, they mention the arifin. It's not a hadith or anything, but a statement. They say, ad-deen kulluhu adabun. The deen, all of it is respect. Deen, all of it is respect. Okay, we can still do another hadith, inshallah, before we switch over to the tafsir. Read the next hadith. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وعن أبي هريرة قال قال رسول خصلتان لا تجتمعان في منافق حسن سمت ولا فقه في الدين رواه الترمذي. Narrate the authority of Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala. He said, the Rasul said, خصلتان, this is مبتدا خبر, خصلتان is the مبتدا, and the فعلية becomes the خبر after. Two qualities, لا تجتمعان في منافق. The two qualities, they never gather in a munafiq, a hypocrite. حسن سمت. One is good character, that ولا فقه في الدين, and the second one is a deep understanding of deen. In other words, what is the hadith saying on a basic level? What is the hadith saying? Anybody? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these qualities, like to be pleasant, to be respectful, to speak respectfully, to respect people's feelings, to speak nicely to them, not to be rude to them, not to be abusive. These are the qualities of believers. These are the qualities of believers. They are not the qualities of what? Yeah, of a munafiq. So munafiq are bereft of this. So if you are a believer, you claim you're a believer, you claim you're a recite of the kalima, so have this understanding, have these qualities in you. Avoid these qualities. So it doesn't mean, we discussed this all in detail before. It doesn't mean if a Muslim doesn't have these qualities as a munafiq. The real criterion of being a Muslim is to have the kalima. But these are generally the qualities of a munafiq. So you as a Muslim, you want to be a true Muslim, you want to be a perfect Muslim, avoid this. Don't be loud. Don't be rude. Don't be abusive, etc. And this is the one that's relevant to our subject here. To have a good and sound understanding of deen, to understand what is happening. I told you, good character. Right. So here in the Shara, you say, when we speak about good character, it means to become a paragon of goodness for the makhluk. Interesting things here. To become a means of ease for the makhluk. As far as you're possible. Like simple example, you walked into the room here, you left your shoes there, so you know people are going to work there. Are you a means of ease for people? You're not a means of ease. So that's not character. You left your shoes, or you're walking on the road, you saw something on the road, right? And you removed it. That's good character. So as far as possible, within your means, to become a means of goodness. You saw somebody, you gave him some good advice, right? So this having this wishing goodness for the makhluk of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, trying to alleviate the difficulty of Allah fi awni al-abdi ma kan al-abdu fi awni akhihi, etc., etc. These are the qualities of a believer. They are not like some people, they feel happy when they see somebody else in difficulty, like how you're praying people, you hide their shoes away, etc., etc. One year you say, one is what you say, uh, in Urdu, tajirana akhlaq. You conduct good akhlaq like a business. What does that mean? You conduct good akhlaq like a business. What it means? Tell me what it means. It's easy. You kick yourself if I tell you. What's business? I give you 10 rand. You give me a book. You give me a book. I give you 10 rand. Huh? You good to me. I'm good to you. You smile with me. I smile with you. You greet me. I greet you. So he said that is businessman akhlaq. We're not speaking about that akhlaq. You smile to me. I smile to you. When I was in difficulty, you help me. Now you're in difficulty. I will help you. This is not what we're speaking about. Yeah, we're speaking about whether a person, like that's why the hadith say, it goes like this about family ties. ليس الواصل بالمكافي كافى يكافي. The person who's considered to enjoying good family ties is not that person that you do good mukafi, I pay you back. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, no, no. Whether you are good to me or whether not good to me, whether you greet me or you don't greet me, whether you were there for me when I needed you or not, I will still be there for you. So this is not what the hadith is speaking about, not this type of. So that was the first thing about good akhlaq. And the second thing is to have a good understanding of deen. So from this, you learn as a Muslim, you have to also take out time. You have to study. You have to empower yourself. Okay, that's until there. We'll switch over, inshallah. So where we stop? Well, I say we're still doing so. Okay. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The verse we were discussing was this verse we were discussing. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yeah. كل من حرم زينة الله التي أخرج لعباده والطيبات من الرزق قل هي للذين آمنوا في الحياة الدنيا خالصة يوم القيامة كذلك نفصل الآيات لقوم يعلمون. Say who has made haram the beauty of Allah Ta'ala, the one that He has taken out for His servants and the pure things from among the rizq, and say it is for the ones who believe in this dunya only on the day of the for the ones who believe in this dunya only, right? Not for the other people, right? How you translated that? They are for the believers in this worldly life, right? So, and khalisatan yawm al-qiyamah. So it is for the ones who believe in this dunya only, right? In this dunya, and khalisa, and only on the day of qiyamah for them also. You understood that? They are for the believers during this worldly life, right? Whereas are purely for them on the day of qiyamah. So the khalisa is for yawm al-qiyamah. You understood that? So it is for the believers in this life and wholly and solely for the qiyamah. كذلك نفصل الآيات لقوم يعلمون. Like that, we explain to you the verses so that you may understand them, right? So we're still giving some explanation here. We explained about, just recap, that to wear good things, etc., etc. There is no problem with that, and but to go overboard is a problem. And we see some of the Sufis, those people who, they explain or they advocate abstemiousness from the dunya. That was with the spiritual exercises. But once a person is accustomed, he's spiritually trained, then they will go back to the the virtue of this of Inna Allah yuhibbu ayyara athara ni'mati ala ibadihi, that Allah Ta'ala loves that He sees His favor. When Allah Ta'ala has blessed you with something and then to deprive yourself is not acceptable. So Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas explains this verse by saying, all the blessing and comforts of the world are subject to the safeguard. They not become a source of trouble for them in the hereafter. Are the rightful share of the obedient believers only. Contrary is the case of disbelievers and sinners who, though they too receive this blessing in their mortal life, rather receive more of it, and these blessings of theirs are going to become their means in the nemesis in the hereafter, bringing punishment which will last forever. Therefore, as the outcome shows, this is not the kind of comfort and honor that one would welcome. Interesting thing here. See what he's saying? This explains here. The verse says here in the verse, right? That قُلْ هِيَ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. Right? I told you that all these blessings are for the people who believe in the dunya. Right? And khalisatan yawm al-qiyamah, and solely for them in the hereafter. Right? So automatically, this will come to your mind now. That look here, you look at all the luxuries in this dunya, all the luxuries in this dunya. Don't the non-Muslims, in fact, sometimes maybe you'll say that the non-Muslims are enjoying more of the boons and the bounties of Allah Ta'ala. I mean, if you look at currently in the world, the wealth of this world is concentrated amongst the non-Muslims. Most of the, if you look at the Muslim world, they are the poorest. Most of the people, the Muslim world, are migrating from their countries, going to the Europe, going to America for a better life. But here the verse is saying that all the good things are for the believers. And here we see in the world that they've got more wealth. You look at all the richest people in the world, they are the non-believers. So here he answers this. What is this here? One explanation is this, that it has been created for the believers, but these people are using it by the way. Another explanation is this here. Look here. A blessing is that which benefits you. A blessing is something which doesn't benefit you. It is the cause of your downfall. It is not a blessing. So if you look at these non-Muslims, they benefiting from this worldly things temporarily, and it is causing them to forget the main purpose of akhirat. So it is not a blessing for them. It is rather, it's not a boon for them. It is a bane for them. You understand what I'm saying? Because a blessing is something which has permanent benefit. A blessing is something which has permanent benefit. And this does not have permanent benefit for them. It's going to be the cause of their destruction. It is going to be the cause of the downfall. This is what Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran. ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر. ألها يلهي ألهاكم التكاثر. Your excessive obsession of gathering things of the dunya. ألهاكم. It has distracted you. It has taken you away from حتى زرتم المقابر, until you visit the qabr. When you visit the qabr, then you say, now I had enough. يعني لو كان لابن آدم وادي من الذهب لشاء الثاني والثالثة حتى لا يملأ فاه إلا التراب. Nothing will fill his mouth except the sand of the qabr. So you understood? So he's saying that this year will be his bane, it will be his downfall. So it's not a blessing. A blessing is something which is with you always, and a blessing is something which benefits you in the dunya and the akhirat, right? So you understood that one explanation. If somebody said, but why are the non-Muslims? Some other commentators have determined is meaning by saying that all blessings and comforts of the world are laced with ceaseless striving, right? They are laced with ceaseless striving, the apprehension of decline and never-ending anxiety, pure blessings and pure comfort, pure blessings. However, I said my phone is going. Right? They will. However, there will be no striving. Sorry, the phone is going, but cuckoo's here. But let me just see. Okay, so there will be no striving for it. What he's saying is that whatever you have in the dunya, This is always accompanied with worry and tension. Like even if you are a wealthy person, you fear that my wealth mustn't decrease, the robbers mustn't come, etc., etc. And even to look after that wealth, etc., etc. It is a great responsibility. So no matter what you got of this dunya, it's always accompanied by worry. But in the akhirah days where there will be no worry. At the end of the verse, it was said, كذلك نفصل الآيات لقوم يعلمون. This is how we elaborate the verses for people to understand. This verse carries a reputation of the excessive deeds and ignorance views of people who suggested Allah is pleased with the practice of banning good deeds. Okay, let's look at the actual kitab now. So كذلك نفصل الآيات, like this Allah Ta'ala explained. Look here, doesn't mean if you got something of the dunya that Allah Ta'ala is happy with you. Read from there where we stop.
تعالى.
All right. Okay, Bismillah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يقول تعالى ردا على من حرم شيئا أكل شارب أو لابس تلقاء نفسه من غير شرع.
Okay, so in this يقول تعالى ردا على من حرم شيء من المآكل أو الشرب أو المشارب أو الملابس من تلقاء نفسه من غير شرع من غير شرع من Allah. So in this verse, Allah Ta'ala is saying, rebuffing, rejecting the one who made haram something from amongst the food and the drink and the clothes from his own self, not from the side of Sharia. Right? So Allah Ta'ala is rebuffing, Allah Ta'ala is refuting, Allah Ta'ala is rejecting a person. What does Allah Ta'ala say?
يا محمد
The thing is not on. Is it on? Is it on? Okay, carry on.
يا قد آمن بالله.
Yeah, right. So Allah Ta'ala says, قل يا محمد لهؤلاء المشركين. Oh Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when Nabi Sam came, then this custom was so prevalent of making a haram, etc. So قل يا محمد لهؤلاء المشركين الذين يحرمون ما يحرمون بآرائهم الفاسدة وابتدائهم. Oh Muhammad, say to these polytheists, the ones who has prohibited يحرمون, they've prohibited what they prohibited بآرائهم, with their own opinions, right? وابتدائهم, and their own innovations. There's no basis in Sharia. So say to them, what must you say to them?
من حرم زينة الله التي حرم
Yeah. Say to them, ask them, like how, when somebody does something without authority, you say, who told you to do this? Where did you get permission to do this? The same thing. These people, they made halal things haram without permission and without authority. So ask them, من حرم زينة الله التي أخرج لعباده. Man harama, who has made haram the beautiful things of the dunya, the one which Allah Ta'ala took out, He created for his servants. Carry on.
هي مخلوقة من آمن بالله وعبده إن شركه بالسن.
Yeah. So see here, so all of these things, here makhluqatun, Allah Ta'ala has created it. Liman amana billah, for that person who believes in Allah, wa abdihi, he believes in his servant, right? Fil hayati dunya, in this life and in dunya. وإن شركهم فيه وإن شركهم فيها الكفار حسا في الدنيا. Even though the kuffar, they outwardly seem to enjoy this. And I gave you two reasons why we say they don't enjoy it. One is because this will become the cause of their own downfall. And true peace and blessings they don't have, because Allah bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. It is in the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala that hearts find true peace. So outwardly it seems that they are enjoying the things of the dunya, but they are not enjoying the things of the dunya. I told you before, even from another angle, if you look at it, if you look at the levels of depression, if you look at the levels of suicide, if you look at the levels of anxiety, ironically, it is found in the most developed countries where people have most means of the dunya by them. So that shows you they are not enjoying all that. They are not enjoying that, right?
وهي لهم لا يشرك فيها أحدا.
Right. So فَهِيَ لَهُمْ خَاصَةً, it is for them only, يعني for the believers, especially on the day of al-Qiyamah, لا يشركهم فيها أحد من الكفار. None of the kuffar will have any share of this. In other words, for them is Jahannam, right? Right, Jannat is haram upon those people who would not accept Allah Ta'ala, do not accept the Risalat, right? What yusaffiru means? Right. So Ibn Abbas narrates a hadith to explain this verse. He said, and Ibn Abbas, he said, كانت قريش يطوفون بالبيت. The Quraysh used to make tawaf of the bayt. وهم أرات جمع of arin, as they were naked. يصفرون, whistling, ويصفقون, clapping their hands. So this Allah Ta'ala does like this. So Allah Ta'ala revealed to His Messenger Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, وَلَمَنْ حَرَّمَ زِينَةَ اللَّهِ الَّتِي, and who has made haram the beautiful things of this dunya for His servants. Read the next verse.
قل إنما حرم ربي الفواحش ما ظهر منها وما بطن. Say, my Lord, whatever is hidden in transgression without الله
Okay.
That you say.
Okay, so this verse is linked to the previous verse. So Allah Ta'ala is saying that Allah Ta'ala did not make anything haram for you from the nice things of the dunya. You, by depriving yourself of food and drink in the months of Hajj, this is your own fabrication. This is your own fabrication from yourself. Yes, this Allah Ta'ala has made haram. So that Allah Ta'ala, what إِنَّمَا حَرَّمَ رَبِّيَ الْفَوَاحِشَ. Verily, my Rabb didn't make that beautiful things haram, but verily, my Rabb has made shameful things. فَوَاحِشَ, جمع فاحشة, shame. مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا وَمَا بَطَنَ. What is apparent? مِنْهَا وَمَا بَطَنَ. Right? And what is apparent and what is hidden from the sun. Right? Right? وَالْبَغْيَ, and oppression. So, مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا وَمَا بَطَنَ مِنَ الْإِثْمِ. Allah Ta'ala has made haram what is apparent from the sun and what is hidden from the sun. وَالْبَغْيَ, and He's made, this is another of harama. He's made oppression بِغَيْرِ الْحَقِّ, that you oppress somebody without any right, like you don't take somebody's away. And وَأَن تُشْرِكُوا بِاللَّهِ, and that you ascribe with Allah Ta'ala partners, that is haram. مَا لَمْ يُنَزِّلْ, which He did not give you any authority. Right? This is so that He made haram that you ascribe partners to Allah Ta'ala. You got no right to do that. وَأَن تَقُولُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ, and also that you speak with regards to Allah that which you do not know. That which you do not know. So these are the things which are haram. Do not make your own things haram. So after that, the second verse takes up the description of some of the things declared unlawful by Allah Ta'ala for taking, which really brings His pleasure. Right? So Allah Ta'ala is saying that these things that you are concentrating your energies on, there's no reason to leave that out. That is permissible. Rather, you want to abandon something, abandon these things. These are the haram things. You understood? The hint given here is that these people were suffering from a twofold ignorance. On the one hand, they were deprived themselves of the good things of the life. Allah Ta'ala had made lawful for them by denying to use them as if they were unlawful, and they did so for no reason. Then on the other hand, there were things which were genuinely and really unlawful, things which the use of which has to be result in the wrath of Allah Ta'ala and the punishment of the hereafter. So on the one hand, things which are halal for you, which are good for you, that you are shunning, that you are leaving out. But the things which really earns the wrath and the displeasure and the anger of Allah Ta'ala, you are engaging in that. Now remember, I told you, we done in Mishkaat Shareef this morning, what's it? Al-alimu ashaddu ala shaytani min alfi abidin. The shaitan is more severe upon, the alim is more severe on shaitan than 1,000 worshippers. Same thing here. You got no knowledge, you are going to channel your energies into things which are not important, and you're going to leave the important things. But if you have knowledge, you know that Allah Ta'ala has made this good food halal, good clothes halal, but Allah Ta'ala has made shirk halal, haram. Allah Ta'ala has made open transgression haram. Allah Ta'ala has made oppression haram. But when you got no knowledge, then you will do all the wrong things. Same thing. Exactly same thing here. Because you don't have knowledge, you're doing the wrong things. You've abandoned the prophetic way. You've turned your back on the prophet. Now you're doing all the funny things. But when you're empowered with knowledge, you will know exactly where to channel your energies. You'll know exactly what to do. You'll know exactly what not to do. So we're saying then on the other hand, there were things which were genuinely and really unlawful, things the use of which was to result in the wrath of Allah Ta'ala and the punishment of the hereafter. These were embraced with both arms, only to discover that they embraced what was to be the undoing in their life to come. So they embraced the wrong thing. Thus they were doubtly deprived of the blessings that in the mortal world and deprived of the blessings they had the chance of having in the hereafter. So by result of this misdirected energies, they deprived themselves of the good things in the dunya because they never enjoyed. And in the akhirah, they will suffer because they never accept tawheed. You understood the result? So say, Innama Rabya, say my Lord has prohibited only the shameful things, what is apparent from them and what is hidden, and the sin, and the unjust transgression, and that you associate with Allah Ta'ala something for which He has not sent any authority, and that you say about Allah Ta'ala which you do not know. So from this here, you can understand the role that the alim has got to play, that he needs to guide the community and show them where they must be channeling the energies, that this is permissible, you don't have to leave this out. Many a time we are corrupt by customs, things that are permissible in Islam, but maybe it's not permissible in our urf, it is not permissible in our, so now we consider that to be impermissible, and the thing, right? So the things which are permissible, we consider to be impermissible. Like simple example, maybe some cultures, if a woman's husband pass away, they believe it's no, it's disrespectful, it's disloyal to the first husband to get married again. Now they consider it inappropriate. Now that has no basis in Islam. It has no basis in Islam. So something which Allah Ta'ala had made permissible, you consider it impermissible, right? And it's right. So and then things which are we're supposed to be abandoning, we do not abandon that, right? So that is the role of an alim, to show, to dispel. The alim must lead the way. He must show that this is permissible, and he did it so. So that just highlights and underscores the importance of the ulama to show that the people mustn't channel their energies in the wrong direction. They mustn't make the halal things haram and make the halal things haram and the haram things halal. Okay, Mulana, we'll stop there. We'll continue tomorrow, inshallah.